episode 93, part 3 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. And also, as usual, remember to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support the Kenya Simbas as they are still looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Danima Duffield.
And I'm Nara Kamuya.
So we start off with football. And we start off locally. Our Harambee stars. Harambee. Anyway, so yes, that's a very old song and I don't know how to sing it. So they were playing against Ethiopia. But before we get into that, there was the fact that the government decided that, guys, you don't need to pay. Come watch. We need the support. Now, I feel there are two ways to look at this. I feel that's a big mistake. In the sense that, the game loses its value, the players lose. You want to watch the national team. You're not going to watch some boys from, no offense, some slum playing football, Palechini. No, this is your national team. Like, you should take pride in having paid to go and watch this game. So guys haven't gotten their allowance, but you guys are going in for free. So when you look at, people going in for free, you'll have to look at security. Because, hooligans. You've got anyone, everyone, coming from everywhere coming into that game. So that's just my take. But what do you think of that?
It's a bad move. I agree with you. It's a bad move because nowhere in this world if you want sports to become professional, there's nowhere in this world where you can have it can be professional by such a move. Gate charges are there everywhere, and I think in football it's not that expensive. How do you expect FKF to run? Because that's gate charges is one of the things that goes into running the game. So we're setting a bad precedent, and I know it's coming on the back of the IWF when the government said that it was going to be free for guys to watch it, and people have started demanding now. We're setting a bad precedent, and it's a very populist move. Cabinet Secretary Rashid Echesa, I don't think it should have been done. Gate charges are there for a reason, and I think it should be maintained that way. We're going down a very slippery slope if we decide to start doing that. Also, there's the fact that when the stadium fills up, how do you start telling people you can't come in? You can't regulate now. You can't regulate. So, and like you're saying, you attract everyone, and even those hooligans are going to be there. I'm not saying the hooligans can't pay; they can pay. But it becomes open season. So. But I'm looking at it from a commercial point, and it's a mistake. It's a very big mistake, and I don't think they should have done it.
The other way someone would, one question actually I was asked is, so how do you attract more people to come and watch the game? And I'm like, okay, fine. If it's too expensive, maybe subsidize. This is an international game. They don't happen all the time. So you should, most people should be able to save up. But I do understand there are people who, will live hand to mouth. And for them, it's maybe not as accessible. But then subsidize. Don't make it absolutely free. Make someone have to work to come and watch that game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game you want to watch. So if you really want to, you will find a way to watch the game.
Like you said, it's a game you want to watch. It's not a free entrance that's making you go to Kasarani to watch the game. So I agree with that. Subsidize if necessary, but don't make it free.
So this is the AFCON qualifier. It was an AFCON qualifier game rather. And Kenya actually won that game 3-0. So, Kenya. But how do you think our chances are looking? In the pool, we were top of the pool. Ethiopia was next, then Ghana, and Sierra Leone, who, they're still waiting to hear their fate.
Like you said, Sierra Leone have been banned by FIFA. The two remaining fixtures for Kenya is Ghana away and Sierra Leone away. No, Sierra Leone should be here, sorry. But we're still waiting on the decision to be rendered by FIFA as to whether they're going to be reinstated. As we speak right now, things with the status quo the way it is, then Kenya have qualified for AFCON 2019, which is a good move because the last time Kenya played AFCON was 2004 in Tunisia. 2004 in Tunisia. So it's a good move for Kenya. I actually saw on social media one guy saying, I'm not used to Harambee Stars playing this well.
I saw that too,
It's not used to. So it's a good it's a good outing by Kenya. Of course, it was a barren draw in Ethiopia when they played early on in the week, but the return leg and Olunga and Wanyama actually getting onto the score sheet, our two biggest guys. And setting a good platform for what I think is going to be a very good AFCON 2019.
So still on football, we move on to R&R. And not R&R, the one that people know, not that, nope. This is the Ronaldo rape allegation. I hate that that's a thing. Sorry, So his lawyers, and his people are like, no, fabricated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, lady says that, so this happened in 2009, and yes, I went and reported it, and, I didn't say exactly who it was, and even with the officials, they're like, oh, they'll say that you just want to extort him, and this is Ronaldo, and, why does he need to do that? But what do you think of the whole debacle?
They say it's happened, the incident happened in 2009 in Las Vegas, and they say that, or Ronaldo's side say that it was consensual. But what has come out is that apparently Ronaldo did sign an undisclosure agreement.
Yes.
And some money was paid.
And there was a settlement.
Yeah, there was a settlement paid to this lady. I don't think he was married at that time. I don't think he's married even now. So then the question I ask myself is, why get into an NDA if it was consensual?
Yes.
Look, there's that's the side I'm asking. But on the flip side, we also have to be very cognizant of the fact that the top athletes, they're prey. And it does happen a lot, especially in the States. It does happen a lot that some of these top athletes are framed to get money from them, right? So
sometimes it's just easier to keep someone quiet and let's move on.
And let's move on. So we don't know. We don't know what the story is. I think it's only Ronaldo and the lady who know what the story is. But they've been revived, 10 years later? The story has been revived 10 years later?
Yep.
It's two ways, like I'm telling you. You don't... it doesn't make sense to me. You sign an NDA if it was consensual.
Yes.
But on the other hand, we also have to be very cognizant of the fact that top athletes in the world pray, and they do go through a lot of this.
I think for me, in the sense that yes, only the two will ever know what happened on that night. I'm sort of coming from a place where I want justice to be served, whatever it is. Like if she's telling a lie, let's find out she was lying. And if she wasn't, then Ronaldo, you need to take responsibility.
That's true. I do agree with you. At the end of the day, you do want the right thing to be done. So now we move on to basketball. And gentlemen. Yes, a very elderly gentleman passed on earlier this week. So that's Morris. Is it Morris or Maurice? I'd say Morris.
Well, so Morris Frederick, known as Tex, Winter. So a lot of people don't know what he did for basketball. Like he didn't invent, what we're going to talk about. But he did popularize it. So maybe you can shed some light on that for basketball lovers and people who maybe didn't know.
When they talk about the greatest basketball coaches, the name that's mentioned a lot is Phil Jackson. Who coached the Chicago Bulls to 6 championships and the LA Lakers to 5 championships. But the person that's not mentioned a lot is Tex Winter. And Tex Winter was Phil Jackson's assistant, both in Chicago and at the Lakers. Now, the thing that is most famous about Phil Jackson and his coaching with the two teams is something called the triangle offense. And the triangle offense is what many people think was the reason why they won, 6 in Chicago and 5 in LA. But Phil Jackson, he wasn't the inventor of the triangle offense. It was more to do with Tex Winter, and he was a basketball mind. Like Kobe Bryant says that he used to call him Yoda. And I liked one thing that when you listen to all the players he's coached Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. The one thing all these guys say about Tex Winter is whenever he was tough on you, whenever he was criticizing you, he'll always tell you that, look, I'm coaching you. Right? I'm here to coach you, and he was a basketball genius. So, in trying to the Hall of Fame, I think in 2011, if you ask me, of course Phil Jackson gets all the praise, but if you ask me, Tex was actually the architect for the 6 in Chicago and the 5 in LA. Rest in peace. I think he was 96 years old. I think he's lived a full life. Passed on sometime past week, and we've seen all these legends just give statements to passing their tributes to Tex Winter. Condolences to him, his family, everyone who knew him.
So we move on to the bonus segment now, where Bamba Sports signed, a deal with the Kenya Rugby Union, and they'll be the official broadcaster for the 2018-2019 season for 5 years. So they start, 2018-2019 season, and for 5 years they'll be there. So I think it's supposed to be 2 games per weekend, and it's a roughly a 35 million deal, like a year. This for me is like awesome. I'm like, yes!
Just wait before you move on. I'm laughing because rarely do you hear a million and Bob.
I know.
You'll say 100 Bob, not 35. Anyway, moving on swiftly,
Yes, so, for those of us who pocket change. Yes, so I think that's very good for the union. I mean, previously we saw Zuku.
Yes.
And for the last year, not a game was broadcasted, yet, the contract was still on. So you wonder what kind of happened somewhere there. But, I mean, it's very good to have them on. I'm looking forward to this. We need to have games televised. We need to get the game popularized. So they'll be showing, women's games, under 17 games, and Kenya Cup. This is really good, I think, for the rugby fraternity. And of course, there'll be some money that's going to clubs. Of course, there'll only be 4 venues. That'll be Impala, RFUEA, which is home to the Kenya Harlequins, Nakuru, and KCB. I think that makes sense. You can't have them traveling absolutely everywhere, and they've got to look at the standards of the pitch and everything else, of course. That's
true. It's a good deal. I mean, they've been working on it for a minute now. 35 million shillings for 5 years puts it roughly at 175 million shillings. Quick math. It's I mean, the Zuku deal was 250 million shillings. This one is 175. But I like the fact that it's 2 games a weekend, right? So it goes a long way to popularizing the game. I think most of it, from what I've heard, anything to do with Radio Africa and Bamba Sports is part of Radio Africa, is normally in kind, rather than cash. And thank you for making it in kind.
Yes, it's appropriated funds. We don't know where it went.
We don't know where it went. Thank you for making it in kind. But it's a good deal. Of course, Zuku. People are saying making noise about the Zuku deal. It's done now. Bamba Sport have come on board, and it's a local company. That's good. So it's good for rugby. It's good for rugby to televise rugby, and what you see when you talk to very many guys who watch rugby, not local rugby but rugby, they're not even aware about the local season. And I am hoping that this deal will be able to do that. We'll be able to show guys that there is actually a game. There's rugby happening almost every weekend in Kenya. And just before we wrap it up, they'll also be having a 30-minute show every week, just highlighting what's been happening, coaches, teams, and all of that. So make sure you tune in when they do start. Remember, you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Demi Duffield. And I'm Naroka Muya.
#GoToJapan.